Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Dice Hero, the Unoriginal Story. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about $5. I stress early access, everything that you're about to see is subject to change. So this is a Slay the Spire-esque kind of game with dice. It's not a new concept. Spell Rogue, for example, is a fantastic game along a similar vein. Now, with this game, you can do either the story mode or you can do a custom battle. In custom battle, you can choose your character, you can choose the dice that you get, the blessings, the items. I like that. So if you want to try your hand against different enemies, I love that you can actually create your own battles and just have fun doing that. Now, as far as the story mode is concerned, there are 5 characters that you can choose between. There isn't like a difficulty setting per se, but there's a corruption bar on the right-hand side of the character select screen, and you can click on the boxes to add more difficulty to the game in various ways. Although only the first option was unlocked, I'm guessing as you play this game and defeat it, I'm guessing you unlock more of those difficulty settings. So anyway, you're going to choose one of those 5 characters, and as is typical in a game like this, you're going to branch off into different directions. You get to choose which way you go. And you're going to be fighting regular enemies along the way. You're going to be playing, you're going to be fighting elite enemies. You're going to be visiting towns. Again, you kind of seen this whole thing before. This is not a new concept whatsoever. You're going to be earning, special blessings that, along the way. When you first start, you'll be able to choose, do you want a new item? Do you want to upgrade an item? Do you want an extra die? That kind of thing. So I like that there's freedom to choose what your starting buff is. I like that. You can also choose, there are a lot of different cards in this game. So as you defeat enemies or as you pick various earn a card kind of thing, you can choose between 3 cards typically, and, you can choose between, is it an attack card? Is it an armor card? And I have to stress, because this is dice and because you're being dealt these cards to choose between, there is a lot of RNG in this game. In fact, one of the warnings that I got when I accepted my press key, the very first line, and I'm paraphrasing, was something along the lines of, if you hate RNG, do not buy this game. That's straight from the developer's mouth, okay? Paraphrasing, of course. So just be warned that, there's dice rolling in this game. You're going to be rolling D4s, D6s, and possibly others that I haven't gotten to yet. And you're going to have cards on the very bottom of your screen. Rather than have action points, each card has a specific amount of uses. Some will refresh after a turn is over, and others take some time to refresh. I wish the tooltips were a bit more detailed in that regard. Like I had this blessed amulet that seemed to refresh whenever it wanted to. I wasn't sure. I couldn't pin down when exactly it was going to refresh. And another complaint that I have is, in some cases, the UI is extremely small. I had a difficult time reading the actual cards, like in the default mode. Like all of the text was really small. There was no option in the options menu to increase the UI size. And everything kind of felt indie. I hate to use that word because there's a lot of good indie games out there, but I feel like the UI and the way everything is presented graphically wasn't fully fleshed out. So I had some problems with that. Compared to, say, Spell Rogue, this game is pretty bare bones basic. The enemy that you face in this game will have a line of cards, and they activate from right to left. So on the very right, that's the next ability that gets activated. So you kind of can see what's coming up and then plan for that accordingly. Like obviously I'm going to, if I see that there's a lull in the action, I'll pop my Reflect trinket so that it reflects damage now. And then the next turn, there's no damage coming in, so I guess it gives it time to refresh. And then the next turn, I'm hoping that my amulet's refreshed again. So you can kind of time things and, you can plan ahead that way. You're also going to be using your dice to activate, attack cards. You have to pay attention. Some cards need a certain total to refresh, like my bow needed a perfect 10 in order to refresh it from my arrow to my bow so that I could use it again. But it gave me weakness, so I had to wait a turn for that weakness to go away. Again, like in Slay the Spire, you can earn treasure chests. Like you'll just come across treasures and you pick a card. Simple as that. You can go to town and you can rest and regain some life. You can gain upgrades to your cards. You can gain blessings. It's all typical. From a first impression standpoint, this wasn't bad, but like I said, graphically, I'm not trying to knock indie devs at all because there's some great indie devs out there. But there's also something called competition. When you've got a game like Spell Rogue that does dice and does Slay the Spire, and then as a customer, you compare which game would I rather play. I would rather play that other one because this one looks nicer. It's just better put together and that kind of thing. However, that being said, I do like this kind of game. I do like dice. I do like upgrading dice. Circadian Dice is another fun game that I like playing. Anything that involves dice and dice building, I'm a sucker for. So I think this game can be a lot of fun, but because the game is early access, I kind of want to wait and see where it goes, see what kind of UI updates this game gets. Will the text be more readable in the future? I don't know. I guess we'll see as time goes by. But if this is interesting to you, then by all means check it out. It's only $5. So that's a plus in its cap, a feather in its cap. I think the price point is very attractive. But Dice Hero, this is Vince. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all next time. Take care.